And right now, we're actually going to go live in Montreal. Alex Tepati is joining us. Good morning, Alex. Bonjour.
Good morning, Dina. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks.
Now, today, we remember one of the greats, Jean Beliveau, who left us last week, will be laid to rest today in a ceremony. And last night, it was the Habs' first chance to pay tribute to him as well. So, Alex, bring us up to date on the mood in Montreal this morning.
I mean, you know, these tributes for such a great hockey player, but even more for such a great man, have been flowing for the past week. Yesterday was the first chance, as you said, Kevin, for the Montreal Canadiens to put on their tribute. Very, very emotional moment with Elise, his wife, and of course his daughter and granddaughters that were present. And the Habs, I mean, I have to say, they really know how to put on a show, and they know how to do it just right. Very respectful, very emotional. That moment of silence in the Bell Center, I mean, you couldn't hear a sound, and that really really shows how people respected Jean Beliveau. And I'm standing here right in front of the Mary Queen of the World Cathedral, where it's going to happen. Of course, he will be laid to rest at 2 p.m. today, and we're dealing with a bit of difficult weather for today, but I know that it's not going to stop anyone, whether it's politicians, former Montreal Canadiens, but also fans, to show up and pay their last respects to such a great man.
You know what, Alex? We're looking at the images, and it's just heartbreaking to see such a beautiful outpouring of love and a salute to an incredible man. You mentioned hockey legend, winning 10 Stanley Cups, but everyone says he was such an incredibly nice man.
It's not just about being an incredible hockey player. He was an incredible human being.
And this is really what's come out of this in the past week, is we haven't spoken much about the player himself. Although, I mean, 10 cups talks for itself, and also another 7 being part of the administration for the Montreal Canadiens, which is 17 Stanley Cups. But what we've been hearing about is personal stories from the fans, from former players, from former teammates, from the family, and not a single word in a negative way about Jean Beliveau. And I mean, it's a big loss. But really what we've seen and what we've felt in these past few days is really how much he was loved and respected, not only in Montreal, but in Quebec and Canada.
Exceptional player, exceptional man.
Very interesting gesture, too, during the game yesterday. Is if you get a puck that's shot from the ice, you covet that puck. You hide it from everybody else. You rush for it. You hide it, and you bring it home. But a puck that went into the crowd. Well, I think do we have that, Barb?
The footage.
If we can take a look, watch this.
Into the stands. And watch what happens here. A fan takes the puck, passes the puck to Mrs. Beliveau. You can see
that. I mean, that's amazing, right? That was a small gesture,
of comfort,
but a huge one at the same time, Alex.
Andrew Ghetto in front. McKinnon scores!
Absolutely, small gesture that means so much. And really, Elise Beliveau in this past week, and during the time where he was, laid in state at the Bell Center, took the time to speak to every fan, to shake their hands, former players, the staff at the Bell Center as well. And it shows you what a woman she is. They say behind every great man there is a woman. Well, definitely the case here. And I mean, maybe today is the last chance for people to pay their respects, but for sure everyone will forever remember the great Jean Beliveau, and now of course his family, and our thoughts are with them. It's been an emotional past week for them, of course.
So the funeral is today at about 2 p.m.
Today, 2 o'clock. Alex Tepati, thank you for talking to us this morning. You will see the funeral. The funeral's at 2. Coverage, though, begins at 1 on Sportsnet. And then at 2 o'clock, you'll see it on Sportsnet and live streaming on citynews.ca.
And the country mourns and prays along with everybody who will be attending today.
And I think, Winston, you're going to put it on BT Extra? So that
we're going to run it on BT Extra, and you can watch it continuously there as well.
All right, so that is bttoronto.ca/extra.